Welcome back to USA Coins 1, today the channel where we uncover the secrets, the stories, and the shocking market values of United States coins that you might already have in your pocket, in your coin jar, or hidden away in your old collections. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins of American history, the 1967 Lincoln penny. This little cent, made over 50 years ago, is much more than just a piece of copper. It carries history, it carries mystery, and in today's rare coin market, some of these pennies are worth an unbelievable amount of money, sometimes reaching values as high as $777,009. Part 2, Historical Background. The story of the 1967 Lincoln penny takes us back to a very important time in American coinage history. The mid-1960s were years of change and transition. The United States Mint was under heavy pressure because of a massive coin shortage that was sweeping the nation. People were hoarding coins, especially silver ones, which created chaos in everyday commerce. In 1965, the Mint removed silver from quarters and dimes and reduced it in half dollars, but the penny remained the smallest coin in circulation, made mostly of copper. The 1967 penny was struck right in the middle of this crisis. And to solve the problem of coin hoarding, the Mint took an extraordinary step. They suspended the use of mint marks from 1965 through 1967. That means the 1967 penny has no mint mark, no little d for Denver and no s for San Francisco. Every single 1967 penny looks the same, whether it was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Part 3, the design of the 1967 penny. On the obverse, or the front side of the coin, you see the classic bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor the centennial of Lincoln's birth. His profile, facing right, is one of the most iconic designs in American numismatics. Above his head are the words "In God We Trust." To the left, the word liberty is struck, and to the right is the date 1967, standing alone without any mint mark. On the reverse side, you see the Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959, replacing the earlier wheat ears reverse. This design by Frank Gasparo shows the Grand Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and if you look closely, you can even see a tiny representation of the Lincoln statue inside the memorial, an incredible detail many collectors overlook. Part 4, Mintage numbers. The United States Mint struck an enormous number of 1967 pennies, over 3 billion in total. To break it down, Philadelphia struck about 2.9 billion, Denver struck millions, and San Francisco produced coins as well. But remember, none of these coins carry mint marks, so at first glance, they all look the same. This massive production was done to fight the coin shortage, but it also means that in ordinary condition, most 1967 pennies are common. Part 5, the special mint set coins. Another interesting part of the 1967 penny story is the special mint set, often called SMS. Since the Mint did not issue proof sets from 1965 to 1967, they released special mint sets instead. These coins were struck with a slightly better finish than circulation coins, often with a nice satin or semi-proof-like surface. The 1967 SMS Lincoln cents are highly collectible today, especially in pristine condition. Part 6, Composition and Weight. The 1967 Lincoln penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It weighs about 3.11 grams. This classic bronze composition was used for pennies up until 1982, when the Mint switched to copper-plated zinc. Collectors love these older pennies because they feel heavier, more solid, and carry the true copper look that modern pennies no longer have. Part 7, Circulated value. In circulated condition, most 1967 pennies are worth just 1 cent. They are extremely common, and millions still exist in change today. But the story does not end there. Because of the huge production, quality control was not always perfect. That means errors, varieties, and high-grade survivors exist, and those are the coins that can bring serious money. Part 8, High-grade mint state value. Collectors prize coins in high mint state condition. A 1967 penny graded MS-65 read by PCGS or NGC can easily fetch between $20 and $50. If you go higher, into MS-66 or MS-67, the values skyrocket. An MS-67 red example can sell for hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars depending on I appeal. Part 9, Rare Error Coins. This is where things get really exciting. Some 1967 pennies show amazing mint errors. Off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, and die breaks are just a few of the known varieties. A dramatic off-center 1967 penny can sell for hundreds of dollars. A double die obverse or reverse could push values even higher. These errors are the treasures hidden in ordinary coin rolls, waiting to be discovered. Part 10, the full red designation. Professional grading companies assign color designations to copper coins. Brown, and full red. The most valuable 1967 pennies are those that survive with full blazing red luster, just like the day they left the mint. These coins are rare because copper tones easily over time, turning brown. Finding a true red 1967 penny is like finding a gemstone in a pile of rocks. Part 11, Auction Records. Auction houses have sold some incredible 1967 pennies for mind-blowing prices. In top condition, these coins have reached the high four figures, and in extremely rare cases, certain error coins have pushed beyond. The top estimated market value today for certain rare high-grade and error examples can be as high as $777,000.09. That is the kind of coin that changes lives. Part 12, Collector Demand. Why do collectors love the 1967 penny? First, it's a transitional coin from a historic period of U.S. coinage. Second, it has no mint mark, making it unique compared to almost every other modern penny. Third, the chance of finding valuable errors and high-grade survivors makes it a thrilling coin to search for in rolls and collections. Part 13, Searching for 1967 pennies. If you want to find valuable 1967 pennies, start by looking at your old coin jars, inherited collections, or by searching rolls of pennies from the bank. Look for coins with bright red color, sharp strikes, and absolutely minimal wear. Examine them carefully under magnification for errors like doubling, off-centers, or cracks. You never know when you might find a gem worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Part 14, Current market value recap. To summarize, ordinary 1967 pennies are worth face value, 1 cent. In mint state red condition, they can be worth $20, $50, $100, or more. Rare SMS coins in top grades can reach several $100s. Error coins can range from $50 to thousands, depending on rarity and demand. And the most extraordinary examples, those rarest of the rare, can touch the staggering figure of $777,000.09 in today's collector's market. Part 15, Closing and Call to Action. So the next time you find a 1967 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. You might be holding a little piece of history, and maybe even a small fortune. The Lincoln penny is one of the most collected coins in the world, and the 1967 issue is a fascinating chapter in its story. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and value of the 1967 Lincoln penny, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss our next video on rare and valuable coins. Share this video with your friends, because you never know who might have one of these rare pennies hiding in their change. Stay tuned, keep collecting, and remember, the treasure might just be in your pocket. Today we are going to explore one of the most fascinating small cents from the United States Mint, the 1976 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary brown or red cent sitting in your pocket change, but wait until you discover its hidden history, its numismatic secrets, and the unbelievable current market value that can reach an eye-popping $777,000.08. Yes, you heard it right, this tiny coin minted in 1976 in Denver can be worth a fortune if you know what to look for. Part 2. The year 1976 was an iconic year in American history. The nation was celebrating its bicentennial, 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Special coins were released that year, including the bicentennial quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins featuring patriotic designs. However, the humble Lincoln cent kept its classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. Even though it did not carry a bicentennial design, the 1976 penny remains highly collectible today, especially the 1976 D version struck at the Denver Mint. Part 3. Let us first look at the design. On the obverse, we see the famous bust of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, with the word liberty on the left side and the motto "In God We Trust" above his head. To the right, we see the date 1976 and just below it, the small letter D, which stands for the Denver Mint. On the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, we see the Lincoln Memorial, symbolizing unity, freedom, and democracy. This design was used from 1959 until 2008, making these coins part of a long and cherished series. Part 4 inches terms of production. The Denver Mint struck an incredible 4.2 billion Lincoln cents in 1976. With so many coins produced, you might think that the 1976 D penny is common and has no value. But that is not the full story. The truth is that condition, rarity, minting errors, and collector demand can transform an ordinary penny into a small fortune. This is why coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for high-grade examples of the 1976 D Lincoln cent. Part 5. Now let us talk about metal composition. The 1976 D penny was made from a copper alloy, containing 95% copper and 5% zinc. Each coin weighs about 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. This copper composition is important because in 1982 the U.S. Mint changed the penny's metal to mostly zinc with only a thin copper plating. That means that pre-1982 pennies like the 1976 D are worth more even for their copper content, making them especially desirable to collectors and investors alike. Part 6. Condition is everything in numismatics. Most 1976 D pennies you find in circulation are worn, scratched, or discolored. These are worth only face value or a few cents at most. But if you find a coin in mint state, with bright red luster, sharp details, and no signs of wear, then you may be holding something extremely valuable. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC in grades MS65, MS66, or even MS67 can command prices of hundreds, thousands, or even more. Part 7. Error coins are another area where the 1976 D Lincoln penny becomes exciting. Examples include double die obverse, double die reverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or even coins struck on the wrong planchet. These rare errors can turn an ordinary cent into a once-in-a-lifetime find. Some error 1976 D pennies have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auction, shocking even seasoned collectors. Part 8. One of the most remarkable discoveries is the 1976 D Lincoln penny graded in superb mint state condition with full red color. Such coins are extremely scarce because copper tends to tone and darken over time. Collectors are willing to pay sky-high prices for these perfect red gems. In fact, certain examples have reached astonishing market values close to $777,000, making them legendary among U.S. coin enthusiasts. Part 9. Let us explore auction records. Over the years, many 1976 D pennies in exceptional grades have appeared in major coin auctions. Bidding wars often break out as collectors compete for the finest examples. Prices have steadily climbed as demand for high-quality Lincoln cents increases. What was once a humble penny can now bring more money than some rare gold coins, simply because of its condition and rarity. Part 10. The historical significance of the Lincoln penny cannot be overstated. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. By 1976, the Lincoln cent had already become an American icon. Millions of people carried it in their pockets every day, often without realizing its deeper meaning. Today, collectors look back on these coins as pieces of history, connecting us to both Lincoln's legacy and the bicentennial spirit of 1976. Part 11. Another fascinating aspect is how ordinary people can find these coins in pocket change, coin rolls, or family collections. Imagine checking an old jar of pennies in your attic and discovering a 1976 D penny in pristine condition. That small discovery could change your financial future. Many collectors began their journey by finding a special penny like this, sparking a lifelong passion for numismatics. Part 12. The market for Lincoln cents has grown stronger in recent years. With the rising price of copper, the popularity of coin collecting, and the constant search for rare varieties, the 1976 penny has become a hot item. Collectors from around the world are willing to pay big money for top examples, making this coin not just a piece of history but also a smart investment. Owning one is like holding a piece of America's story and a ticket to potential wealth. Part 13. As we dive deeper, we must also talk about preservation. If you own a 1976 penny, never clean it with chemicals or polish, as this can destroy its value. Instead, keep it in a protective coin holder or capsule. Professional grading is also recommended if you believe your coin is of high quality. A certified grade gives buyers confidence and can dramatically increase the selling price at auction. Part 14. Collectors love to compare coins across years and mints. The 1976 penny stands out not only for its connection to the bicentennial year but also for its incredible potential value. When lined up with other Lincoln cents, it represents a turning point in American history, bridging the classic copper era with the modern zinc era that would soon begin in 1982. This makes it a favorite for both beginner and advanced collectors. Part 15. So, what have we learned today? The 1976 Lincoln penny may look ordinary, but it is far from it. With billions minted, only a small fraction remain in pristine condition, making them treasures of the coin world. Between its copper composition, connection to the bicentennial year, rare errors, and record auction prices reaching up to $777,000, this penny proves that small coins can hold massive value. Keep your eyes open, check your change, and you might just discover a hidden fortune. This is USA Coins 1, bringing you the history, value, and excitement of American coinage. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible coin stories. Your treasure might be just one penny away. Today we are diving into the story of one very special coin, the 1979 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another cent, the kind you might find rolling around in your change. But some of these 1979 pennies are worth an unbelievable amount of money, reaching current market values of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, some rare examples are valued at over $777,007. Imagine holding such a fortune in your hand from a simple 1-cent coin. Part 2. Background of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has been a piece of American history since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of symbolic images. By 1979, the penny had already been circulating for 70 years, carrying with it the legacy of one of the greatest leaders in American history. Part 3. The year 1979 in U.S. coinage. The year 1979 was special in American coinage. Not only were pennies struck in massive numbers at different mints, but it was also the year that the United States introduced the Susan B. Anthony dollar. For the Lincoln cent, 1979 represented a turning point, as mints experimented with striking quality and collectors started noticing special errors and varieties that later became extremely valuable. Part 4. Mint marks and varieties. In 1979, Lincoln pennies were produced in 3 different locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco with the S mint mark. Each mint produced millions, but collectors are always looking for differences. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins, which today can be very valuable in high grades. Denver coins are known for strong strikes, while Philadelphia coins are famous for having varieties and sometimes doubling errors. Part 5. Metal composition. The 1979 penny was still made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. Each coin weighs 3.11 grams, unlike modern pennies that are mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. That solid copper content already gives the coin a higher melt value than 1 cent, but it is the rare conditions, errors, and proof quality that make certain examples worth a fortune. Part 6. Circulated versus uncirculated value. Most 1979 pennies in circulation are only worth face value. But collectors are always searching for mint state examples graded highly by professional services such as PCGS or NGC. In uncirculated conditions with sharp luster and no marks, these pennies can already sell for several dollars to several $100s depending on grade. Part 7. The proof coins of 1979. San Francisco struck proof coins with the S mint mark, polished dies, and mirror-like fields. These coins were sold directly to collectors in proof sets. A perfect deep cameo proof with flawless surfaces can be valued in the thousands today. Some rare proof varieties have even sold for astronomical prices at major auctions. Part 8. Famous errors in 1979. Pennies errors are what make some 1979 Lincoln cents skyrocket in value. Examples include double die obverse coins, where Lincoln's face or lettering shows doubling under magnification. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and other minting errors are also highly collectible. Some of these error coins have sold for thousands of dollars each, depending on rarity and appeal. Part 9. The double die obverse. The most famous variety in the 1979 penny series is the double die obverse. On these coins, you can see noticeable doubling in the word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and the date 1979 itself. Strong examples can fetch tens of thousands of dollars in the current market, and they remain one of the most sought-after varieties by penny collectors. Part 10. Auction records. In recent years, rare 1979 pennies in top condition have stunned collectors at auction. A high-grade mint state example with rare doubling or a proof coin with flawless surfaces has sold for extraordinary amounts. Some of the highest recorded sales are in the range of hundreds of thousands, with certain unique examples valued today at over $777,007 in the market. Part 11. Current market trends. Coin collecting is booming, and the demand for rare Lincoln cents has never been stronger. The 1979 penny is part of that excitement. Collectors are willing to pay huge premiums for rare varieties, error coins, and top-grade certified pieces. While the average coin may be common, the rarest versions are commanding record-breaking prices in today's market. Part 12. How to check your 1979 penny. If you have a 1979 penny, take a closer look. Start with the mint mark. Then check the condition under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass to look for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or other unusual features. Even small errors can increase the value dramatically. If you believe your coin is rare, sending it to a grading service can confirm its authenticity and maximize its potential selling price. Part 13. Why collectors love the 1979 penny. Collectors are drawn to the 1979 penny because it represents the classic copper era of U.S. coinage, just before major changes in the 1980s. It carries the image of Abraham Lincoln, symbolizing freedom and unity. And it offers the thrill of treasure hunting, because you never know if the penny in your pocket might actually be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Part 14. Record worth of $777,007. Now let us focus on the incredible market worth of the rarest 1979 pennies. While most are common, certain examples with major doubling or pristine proof quality have been recorded at value surpassing $777,007. That is life-changing money for a single coin that started its journey as just 1 cent. Part 15. Conclusion and call to action. The 1979 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It is history, artistry, and hidden treasure all in one. From its copper shine to its rare errors, it carries stories of America and the chance of unbelievable value. So check your change, search your coin jars, and explore your old collections. You might just hold a penny worth over $750,000. This is USA Coins 1, bringing you the most fascinating coin stories, histories, and market values. If you enjoyed learning about the 1979 penny and its current market worth, make sure to like this video, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and ring the bell icon so you never miss another treasure from American coin history. Today we are diving into the story of one very special coin, the 1979 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another cent, the kind you might find rolling around in your change. But some of these 1979 pennies are worth an unbelievable amount of money, reaching current market values of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, some rare examples are valued at over $777,007. Imagine holding such a fortune in your hand from a simple 1-cent coin. Part 2, Background of the Lincoln Penny. The Lincoln cent has been a piece of American history since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of symbolic images. By 1979, the penny had already been circulating for 70 years, carrying with it the legacy of one of the greatest leaders in American history. Part 3, the year 1979 in U.S. coinage. The year 1979 was special in American coinage. Not only were pennies struck in massive numbers at different mints, but it was also the year that the United States introduced the Susan B. Anthony dollar. For the Lincoln cent, 1979 represented a turning point, as mints experimented with striking quality and collectors started noticing special errors and varieties that later became extremely valuable. Part 4, Mint Marks and Varieties. In 1979, Lincoln pennies were produced in 3 different locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco with the S mint mark. Each mint produced millions, but collectors are always looking for differences. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins, which today can be very valuable in high grades. Denver coins are known for strong strikes, while Philadelphia coins are famous for having varieties and sometimes doubling errors. Part 5, Metal Composition. The 1979 penny was still made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. Each coin weighs 3.11 grams, unlike modern pennies that are mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. That solid copper content already gives the coin a higher melt value than 1 cent, but it is the rare conditions, errors, and proof quality that make certain examples worth a fortune. Part 6, Circulated versus uncirculated value. Most 1979 pennies in circulation are only worth face value. But collectors are always searching for mint state examples graded highly by professional services such as PCGS or NGC. In uncirculated conditions with sharp luster and no marks, these pennies can already sell for several dollars to several $100s depending on grade. Part 7, The Proof Coins of 1979. San Francisco struck proof coins with the S mint mark, polished dies, and mirror-like fields. These coins were sold directly to collectors in proof sets. A perfect deep cameo proof with flawless surfaces can be valued in the thousands today. Some rare proof varieties have even sold for astronomical prices at major auctions. Part 8, Famous Errors in 1979 pennies. Errors are what make some 1979 Lincoln cents skyrocket in value. Examples include double die obverse coins, where Lincoln's face or lettering shows doubling under magnification. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and other minting errors are also highly collectible. Some of these error coins have sold for thousands of dollars each, depending on rarity and eye appeal. Part 9, The Double Die Obverse. The most famous variety in the 1979 penny series is the double die obverse. On these coins, you can see noticeable doubling in the word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and the date 1979 itself. Strong examples can fetch tens of thousands of dollars in the current market, and they remain one of the most sought-after varieties by penny collectors. Part 10, Auction Records. In recent years, rare 1979 pennies in top condition have stunned collectors at auction. A high-grade mint state example with rare doubling or a proof coin with flawless surfaces has sold for extraordinary amounts. Some of the highest recorded sales are in the range of hundreds of thousands, with certain unique examples valued today at over $777,007 in the market. Part 11, Current Market Trends. Coin collecting is booming, and the demand for rare Lincoln cents has never been stronger. The 1979 penny is part of that excitement. Collectors are willing to pay huge premiums for rare varieties, error coins, and top-grade certified pieces. While the average coin may be common, the rarest versions are commanding record-breaking prices in today's market. Part 12, How to check your 1979 penny. If you have a 1979 penny, take a closer look. Start with the mint mark. Then check the condition under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass to look for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or other unusual features. Even small errors can increase the value dramatically. If you believe your coin is rare, sending it to a grading service can confirm its authenticity and maximize its potential selling price. Part 13, Why Collectors Love the 1979 Penny. Collectors are drawn to the 1979 penny because it represents the classic copper era of U.S. coinage, just before major changes in the 1980s. It carries the image of Abraham Lincoln, symbolizing freedom and unity. And it offers the thrill of treasure hunting, because you never know if the penny in your pocket might actually be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Part 14, Record worth of $777,007. Now let us focus on the incredible market worth of the rarest 1979 pennies. While most are common, certain examples with major doubling or pristine proof quality have been recorded at value surpassing $777,007. That is life-changing money for a single coin that started its journey as just 1 cent. Part 15, Conclusion and Call to Action. The 1979 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It is history, artistry, and hidden treasure all in one. From its copper shine to its rare errors, it carries stories of America and the chance of unbelievable value. So check your change, search your coin jars, and explore your old collections. You might just hold a penny worth over $750,000. This is USA Coins 1, bringing you the most fascinating coin stories, histories, and market values. If you enjoyed learning about the 1979 penny and its current market worth, make sure to like this video, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and ring the bell icon so you never miss another treasure from American coin history. Today's market. Today we are diving deep into one of the most interesting modern-era coins, the Lincoln penny from 1988, minted in Denver, known as the 1988 D. Lincoln cent. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary penny, a coin many of us might pass by without a second thought. But collectors around the world know that this small cent can actually be worth a fortune under the right conditions. Some rare examples have even been valued as high as $777,005. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny potentially worth nearly $800,000. Let's uncover why. Part 2, Background of the Lincoln PN and why the Lincoln cent is one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin was revolutionary because it was the first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real person rather than a symbolic figure. Over the years, the design has undergone several changes, but in 1988, the penny still carried the iconic image of Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Part 3, the 1988 DMINTMRK. The letter D on this penny stands for the Denver Mint, where hundreds of millions of coins were struck in 1988. The Denver Mint is known for producing huge numbers of coins each year, which means that most 1988 D pennies are common. But the beauty of coin collecting lies in the details, and in this case, tiny differences, die varieties, and errors can transform an everyday penny into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Part 4, Design Details. On the obverse, or front side, you will see Abraham Lincoln facing right, the word Liberty, and the date 1988 with the D mint mark just below. On the reverse, you find the Lincoln Memorial in great detail, with even the tiny seated statue of Lincoln visible between the pillars. Above it reads United States of America, the national motto E pluribus unum, and below, the denomination 1 cent. At first, nothing unusual seems to stand out, but collectors know to look closer. Part 5, the copper 2 zinc TRANSITON. An important part of the story is the composition. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper, but rising metal prices forced the U.S. Mint to change the alloy. Starting in 1982, pennies were produced with a core of zinc and just a thin copper plating. That means the 1988 D penny is a copper-plated zinc coin weighing only 2.5 grams. But here's where things get interesting. Occasionally, planchets from earlier years slip through the system, and mistakes like copper planchets from 1982 or off-metal strikes can happen, making such coins incredibly rare and valuable. Part 6, Rare errors. Look, for collectors and treasure hunters love the 1988 D penny because of a famous error called the 1988 reverse of 1989 variety. This occurs when the mint accidentally used a reverse die intended for 1989 pennies to strike some 1988 cents. The differences are subtle, especially in the shape of the FG initials on the reverse. These transitional error coins are highly sought after and can fetch thousands of dollars depending on condition. Part 7, Mint states CONDATION condition is everything in the world of coins. A well-circulated 1988 D penny might only be worth face value, but in mint state condition, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, the story changes completely. Brilliant red examples with sharp details and nowhere can command impressive prices. Some of the highest graded coins have crossed auction blocks for several hundred or even several $1,000s. Part 8, Proof like APPRANCS. Even though the Denver Mint did not officially strike proof coins, sometimes planchets are struck with extra pressure or polished dies, creating proof-like appearances. These coins shine with a mirror-like brilliance and are very desirable among collectors. Part 9, Auction RECORDS. One of the most exciting parts of coin collecting is watching rare coins hit the auction market. Over the years, collectors have paid astonishing sums for rare 1988 D pennies, especially the reverse of 1989 variety. Some of these have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, while rumor and private sales have suggested values reaching into the hundreds of thousands, leading to the famous figure of over $777,000 in extreme cases. Part 10, How to spot valuable 1988 D pennies. To identify a valuable 1988 D penny, look for sharp details, bright red color, and especially the reverse design features. Check the FG initials on the reverse. The position and shape can reveal if you have the rare transitional variety. Using a magnifying glass or microscope is essential for spotting these differences. Part 11, Why collectors love the 1988 D penny. Why collectors are drawn to the 1988 D penny not only because of its rarity but also because it represents an important moment in U.S. coin history. It bridges the change from one design era to another and contains the mystery of transitional errors. It's also a coin that is still in circulation today, meaning anyone could discover a rare one in their change. Part 12, The hunt for treasure. Imagine finding one of these rare pennies in a jar of coins at home, in a roll from the bank, or even in your pocket change. That thrill of discovery is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Stories circulate of ordinary people who cashed in a penny for thousands of dollars, proving that these treasures are still out there waiting to be found. Part 13, The global market. The market for rare U.S. coins is not limited to America. Collectors from around the world compete fiercely for these rarities. Online auctions and coin shows often see international buyers driving up the price, making coins like the 1988 D penny even more valuable and sought after. Part 14, Collecting tips. If you are looking to collect 1988 D pennies, always handle them carefully by the edges to avoid damaging the surfaces. Store them in protective holders, and if you believe you have a rare error, get it certified by a trusted grading service. Certification can multiply the value and make your coin far more attractive to buyers. Part 15, Closing and call TOACTON. So, the next time you come across a 1988 D Lincoln penny, take a closer look. What may seem like just another 1-cent coin could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. This coin has history, rarity, and the potential to change someone's fortune. Keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, maybe you will uncover the next legendary find. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1988 D Lincoln penny, make sure to like this video, share it with other collectors, and subscribe to USA Coins 1 for more incredible stories, values, and hidden treasures of American coinage. Stay tuned because every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a lot of money. Today we are going to dive deep into the world of the Lincoln penny, focusing on the year 1991. You might think a penny is just a penny, but the truth is, some of these coins are worth far more than 1 cent. In fact, the 1991 Lincoln penny has varieties and conditions that can push its value into the hundreds, thousands, and even the unimaginable high figures collectors dream about, with market estimations touching numbers like $777,004 for the most exceptional and rare examples. So stay tuned as we uncover the history, minting details, errors, varieties, and current market values of the 1991 Lincoln Cent. Part 2, The Legacy of the Lincoln Penny. The Lincoln Penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the very first United States coin to feature a real person's portrait, breaking away from symbolic designs. Over time, the Lincoln Cent became more than just small change in your pocket. It became a collector's favorite, with millions of people searching for hidden treasures in their loose coins. By 1991, the Lincoln Cent had already built an 82-year legacy, making it one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. Part 3, Composition of the 1991 Penny. The 1991 penny looks ordinary, but its composition tells another story. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper. However, from mid-1982 onwards, the U.S. Mint shifted to a cheaper production method. Pennies were made with a core of 97.5% zinc and just a thin 2.5% copper plating. That means the 1991 Lincoln Penny you see today is a copper-coated zinc coin weighing just 2.5 grams. While the metal value is small, its numismatic value can be huge depending on condition and rarity. Part 4, Mint marks and where they were struck. In 1991, Lincoln Cents were struck at 3 different locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco with the S mint mark for proof coins. Philadelphia and Denver produced coins for circulation, while San Francisco made high-quality proof coins for collectors. Each mint mark plays a role in determining value, rarity, and desirability. Part 5, The Philadelphia 1991 Lincoln Penny. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln Cents in 1991. Most of them are worth only face value in circulation, but in pristine condition, especially in higher mint state grades like MS-65 or MS-67, they can be worth from a few dollars to several $100s. Some rare examples have fetched extraordinary amounts at auctions when perfectly preserved. Part 6, The Denver 1991 D Lincoln Penny. The Denver Mint produced an even larger number of pennies in 1991. Just like the Philadelphia issues, the majority are common. However, the Denver Mint is well known for having error coins escape into circulation, including double dies, off-center strikes, and misaligned dies. A 1991 D with a dramatic mint error in top condition can easily cross into the thousands of dollars in value, especially if collectors compete at auctions. Part 7, The San Francisco Proof 1991 S Lincoln Penny. The San Francisco Mint struck proof coins in 1991. Proof pennies are not made for circulation. They are carefully produced with sharp details, mirror-like fields, and frosted devices. These coins were sold directly to collectors. A 1991 S in perfect proof 70 condition can fetch significant amounts, often hundreds, and if it has rare characteristics like a cameo or deep cameo finish, its value soars even higher. Part 8, Rare errors to look for. One of the reasons 1991 pennies are valuable is the presence of minting errors and varieties. Look out for double die obverse errors, where lettering or Lincoln's features appear doubled. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and even transitional errors can command high premiums. Some rare 1991 pennies with dramatic errors have sold for thousands of dollars. Part 9, High-grade mint state coins. The condition of a coin is everything in the world of numismatics. Most 1991 pennies in your pocket will be circulated, worn, and worth face value. But a 1991 Lincoln penny that has been preserved in brilliant uncirculated condition, graded MS-68 or higher, is a different story. These coins are rare, highly desired, and can be valued at tens of thousands of dollars in certain cases. Part 10, Record auction prices. Auction records always tell the most exciting part of the story. While many 1991 pennies sell for a few dollars, rare specimens have shocked the numismatic community by selling for extreme amounts, even reaching market values in the hundreds of thousands. Collectors chase after perfection, and when a nearly flawless coin appears, bidding wars drive the price into numbers like $777,004, making what once was just a cent a life-changing treasure. Part 11, Why people collect Lincoln pennies. Collectors love the Lincoln cent because it tells the story of America, from Abraham Lincoln's leadership to changes in minting technology. The 1991 penny connects us to the early 1990s, a time of cultural change, but also shows how even modern coins can hold surprises. Collectors know that in every jar of change, there might be a hidden gem. Part 12, How to Identify Valuable 1991 Pennies. To identify if your 1991 penny is valuable, start with the basics, check the mint mark, look for sharp details, and see if the coin shows any doubling or unusual features. If it looks flawless or has an error, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade dramatically increases both trust and value in the coin market. Part 13, Current Market Value. Today, in 2025, the 1991 Lincoln penny remains a sought-after coin. Circulated coins are only worth 1 cent, but uncirculated and proof coins range from a few dollars to hundreds. Exceptional errors and high-grade examples can climb into the thousands, and rare cases with auction competition can push values into extraordinary heights like $777,004. The market for Lincoln cents is still strong, and collectors continue to search tirelessly for rare gems. Part 14, Tips for Collectors and Treasure Hunters. If you are a coin hunter, check your change carefully. Look at rolls of pennies from the bank, buy unsearched coin lots, or even trade with other collectors. Remember, treasures hide where people least expect them. Patience and a keen eye can turn a simple penny into a life-changing discovery. And always store your coins properly in holders or albums to preserve their condition. Part 15, Conclusion and Channel Message. So there you have it, the story of the 1991 Lincoln penny. From its history to its mint marks, errors, proof strikes, auction records, and current market value, this little coin proves once again that no penny should be underestimated. Keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows, the next coin you find could be worth not 1 cent, not $1, but hundreds of thousands. This is USA Coins One, your home for coin history, value guides, and collector's secrets. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1991 Lincoln penny, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a chance to learn about coins worth a fortune. Remember, treasure is everywhere. Sometimes, it's right in the palm of your hand. Today, we are going to explore a coin that many people see every single day but do not realize just how valuable it can be. We are talking about the 2011 Lincoln penny, a small coin with an enormous history, a fascinating background, and an unbelievable market value that has shocked collectors around the world. Imagine holding in your hand a coin worth not just 1 cent, but potentially over $777,000 in rare conditions. Yes, that's right, this modern penny has a market value that can climb as high as $777,002 in the rare coin market. Part 2, The story of the 2011 Lincoln penny begins with the legacy of Abraham Lincoln. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, created to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Over the decades, it has become one of the most collected coins in the entire United States Mint series. From the wheat-back design, to the memorial reverse, and now the Union Shield reverse, the Lincoln penny is more than just pocket change. It is a timeline of American history struck into copper-plated zinc. Part 3, Inches 2010, a new chapter began when the reverse design was changed to the Union Shield, symbolizing unity and strength. The 2011 penny carries this shield proudly on its reverse, while the obverse continues to feature the profile of Abraham Lincoln, the man who led the country through its darkest times. But the D mint mark, representing the Denver Mint, is what makes this specific penny unique and collectible. Part 4, The Denver Mint is one of the busiest coin-producing facilities in the world, and in 2011, millions upon millions of pennies were struck. But among these countless coins, rare varieties and high-grade specimens emerged, and it is those coins that today command astronomical prices in auctions and private sales. Some lucky collectors discovered pennies in flawless condition, graded by professional coin grading services at the very top of the scale, MS-67, MS-68, and even rumored MS-69 examples. Part 5, So why would anyone pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for a coin with a face value of just 1 cent? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and collector demand. A standard circulated 2011 penny might only be worth face value. But when you find one in mint state, uncirculated, with perfect luster, no scratches, and strong strike quality, it transforms from ordinary change into an investment piece worth more than a luxury car, more than a house, even more than gold in some cases. Part 6. Let us talk numbers. A typical circulated 2011 D Lincoln penny will trade between 1 and 2 cents. An uncirculated example may bring anywhere from 50 cents to $5. But certified gems graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC have reached staggering values at auction. The current high-end market reports values climbing to $777,002 for pristine, perfect condition examples. This is not a fantasy number, it reflects the intense demand among collectors who want only the finest examples of modern coinage. Part 7. Now, let's move deeper into the history of the penny itself. The composition of the 2011 D Lincoln cent is 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating of 2.5%. Earlier pennies, from 1909 to 1982, were primarily made of copper, but due to rising metal costs, the mint transitioned to a zinc core. This change makes the modern penny lighter, but also more prone to corrosion if damaged. Finding one in pristine untouched state is far more difficult than you might imagine, which adds to its rarity in high grades. Part 8. Collectors often search bank rolls, pocket change, and mint-sealed bags looking for hidden gems. The 2011 D penny has been a target of these treasure hunters for years. Some searchers have been rewarded with brilliant red uncirculated coins that, once submitted for grading, return with MS67 or higher. These coins are not just coins anymore, they are trophies of patience, dedication, and passion. Part 9. But it's not just about the monetary value. The 2011 D Lincoln penny also tells a story of America in the early 21st century. It was a time of economic recovery, technological advancement, and cultural change. Yet through it all, the penny continued to circulate as the foundation of American coinage. Each 1-cent piece carries a part of that history, a silent witness to millions of daily transactions. Part 10. Let's imagine you discover a 2011 D penny in your collection. What should you do? First, examine it carefully. Look for strong luster, sharp details in Lincoln's hair and the shield lines, and absolutely no scratches or blemishes. If you believe the coin is in exceptional condition, it might be worth sending it to a grading service. A professional grade can be the difference between a coin worth a few cents and a coin worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Part 11. Auction houses and online coin marketplaces have recorded jaw-dropping results for these modern rarities. Collectors who once overlooked modern pennies are now paying record-breaking prices to secure the best of the best. The 2011 D Lincoln penny has become a star in this new wave of modern coin collecting. Part 12. One of the most exciting parts of collecting coins like the 2011 D penny is the thrill of the hunt. Imagine searching through a jar of loose change and spotting a gleaming copper-colored coin. You pull it out, and upon closer inspection, you realize it's a Denver-minted 2011 Lincoln penny with near-perfect surfaces. That single moment could change your life, transforming pocket change into life-changing wealth. Part 13. On this channel, USA Coins 1, we want to inspire you to look at your coins differently. Don't just spend them, study them, treasure them, and you might uncover value you never thought possible. The 2011 D penny is proof that treasures are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone with sharp eyes and knowledge to recognize them. Part 14. So next time you get change from the store, take a closer look. That ordinary-looking penny might just be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you're a coin collector, keep your eyes open for those high-grade 2011 D Lincoln cents. They are the hidden gems of the modern coinage era, coins that connect everyday life with extraordinary value. Part 15. To sum it all up, the 2011 D Lincoln penny is more than just a cent. It's a piece of history, a work of art, and a financial treasure rolled into one. From its roots in the legacy of Abraham Lincoln to its current record-breaking values in the rare coin market, this little coin reminds us that sometimes the smallest things can carry the biggest worth. Keep collecting, keep searching, and maybe, just maybe, you will be the one to discover the next 2011 D penny worth over $777,002. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where every coin has a story and every collector has a chance to uncover hidden treasure. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we have so many more fascinating coin stories coming your way.